If you're a high school basketball player that's playing on an AAU team this summer, this is my second episode in a series that's devoted to skills that you should show off in your AAU games. Now, last week we talked about showing off your positive energy. This week we're going to talk about an on-court skill that coaches love to see in players. Let's jump in and discuss. Welcome back to Heart Smart Together. I'm Coach Dave. I'm here every week to help basketball players become the smart, confident players that coaches love. So we're talking about if you're playing summer AAU and your AAU games and the skills that you should be showing off in AAU games. And it does not matter why you're playing AAU, right? We talked about it last week. You could be playing AAU to get exposure and to have college coaches see you play. You could be just trying to get better for next high school season. You're just trying to improve your skills, improve your games, and come back even stronger next year. So maybe you get more playing time or, help your team succeed next season. Or you could just be hanging out with your friends, having fun on the basketball court and love the AAU experience. And it doesn't matter which one of those is the reason you're playing. Today's skill that I'm going to share, this on-court skill that coaches love to see in players, this is something that's going to help you no matter what's the reasoning for you playing AAU basketball. I do want to talk about college coaches evaluating these AAU games a little bit because I used to be that guy. I used to be a college coach sitting on the sideline evaluating AAU players. And one of the things that as a college coach you're looking there and evaluating is how much are we going to have to develop this player in order for them to contribute to our program, in order for them to even get on the court and get any significant playing time for our program. Is this player going to be a project, or can we day one put them on the court? How much development are they going to need? And that comes into play when they're deciding who to recruit, who to offer scholarships to, things of that nature. Well, one of the contributing factors to getting on the court for a college program or even your high school program is coaches don't like out of control players. You don't want to be an out of control, turnover waiting to happen type of player. So the skill set that I want you to show off in your AAU games is your control, okay? And today I'm going to give you 3 different ways that you can show off your control on the court, okay, in your AAU games. And that is going to help you to really, when you combine it with that positive energy that we talked about last week, boy, we're well on our way to some things that you can control, that you can show off and really make a difference on your AAU team. Now, before I get started on those 3 ways that you can show off control, I like to give you a free gift. If you haven't already downloaded the 8 intangible skills that coaches love to see in players, I call them, the championship intangibles. I've got a checklist for you. It's these skills that you can work on both on and off the court. If you're a high school player, you really should have this as a checklist to go through. And then I also give you some ways that you can work on each individual skill. I'll put the link in the description below, or you can simply go to hardsmarttogether.com/intangibles. I'll be sure to get you that free gift. Now, what are these 3 ways that you can show off your control? Each of these we've dedicated episodes to in the past, but I just want to highlight them today because these are things you should be thinking about when you're on the AAU court, okay? The first one is jump stops, okay? Jump stops are one of the best ways that you can demonstrate control on the court, okay? You can demonstrate it to your AAU coach. You can demonstrate it to those college coaches that are sitting in the stands, and you can, show it off to the referees. It just is a great tool to have in your bag. Now, you might be one of those players that already has a lot of jump stops going on in your game, or you might be one of those players that's a little out of control and leaving off of 1 foot and getting stuck in the air and kind of a turnover waiting to happen. You don't want to be one of those players. You want to have jump stops in your bag of tools, in your skill set, and that is one of the ways to show off control, especially jump stops in the lane. Okay? Jump stops do so much for you. Jump stops keep the defense off balance, right? When someone comes to a jump stop and is strong with the ball, the defense doesn't know really what they're going to do next, okay? When you leave the ground off of 1 foot, the defense pretty much knows you're going up. That's one thing you're going to do. You also avoid turnovers. Jump stops help you avoid turnovers. It helps you avoid travels, okay? When a referee hears 2 feet landing at the same time, they're not going to call you for a travel as much, okay? As if you're coming kind of, horse feet where it's boom, boom. You hear both steps and all of a sudden, when you come to a stop and all of a sudden the referee's blowing their whistle for a travel, okay? So I want you to put these in your game. If you don't practice jump stops in your workouts this summer and put them in your game, put as many in your game as you can, and then show them off during your AAU games, and hopefully that leads to you showing them off next season in your high school season as well. The second thing that can show off your control, fakes, okay? Both shot fakes and pass fakes, okay? Again, keeping the defense off balance. When you put fakes into your game, okay, when you are a player that shows off a lot of fakes, you control the defense versus the defense controlling you, okay? You can get the defense in the air with a shot fake, okay? You can shift the whole defense with a pass fake. And let me tell you, when you combine jump stops with fakes, now you really look like one of those in-control players that is controlling the game. The game is not controlling you, okay? And the game starts slowing down for you and you show off that control. And then the third comes from one of the most famous college coaches, one of the most famous basketball coaches ever. And you may have heard this quote before, but Coach John Wooden used to tell his players, I want you to be quick, but don't hurry, okay? What that means is you can't be going 100 miles an hour all the time on the basketball court, okay? You are out of control if you're going top speed all the time, okay? Now, there is a time to push your limits of how quickly and fast you can play as an individual player. That's practice, because then you can afford to make mistakes. In fact, I really encourage players during practice to push their limits on drills, to push their limits, because mistakes are okay. But when you're in a game situation, when you're on the AAU court, okay, I don't want you pushing so fast, so quick that you all of a sudden are making these mistakes, that you're making turnovers, that you look out of control, okay? I want you to show off control. So dial it back a little bit. In practice, push it beyond your limits. In a game, I want you to move as quickly as you can, push the ball as fast as you can, play as quickly as you can without being out of control. Play quick, don't hurry, okay? And that is the third thing that you can do to demonstrate and to show off more control. Don't be that out of control player that gets the ball, dribbles 1,000 miles an hour up the court, gets into the lane, jumps off 1 foot, gets stuck in the air, makes a bad shot or a bad pass. Don't be the player always trying to make a spectacular play. Be the player that stands out because of their control. And I guarantee you, you're going to stand out to your AAU coach, you're going to stand out to your to these college coaches that are evaluating you. You're going to stand out to your high school coach next season. The more that you can demonstrate and show off control, the better. So if you didn't watch last week's episode where we talked about positive energy, go back and watch last week's episode and then you'll be caught up. But we've got positive energy you're showing off. Now we've got control you're showing off. Next week, we'll talk about another skill that I want you to show off during your summer AAU basketball games. Now, I always like likes. I love comments. If this is helping you during this AAU summer for you, please leave a comment below. Let me know which skill is maybe helping you the most or how this is helping you out. And until next week, remember to play hard, play smart, and play together. See you next week.